Aloha, welcome to the Hawaiian monk seal habitat. While we're conducting our feeding and training session, I'll be telling you a little bit more about these interesting marine mammals. Here we have two adult male Hawaiian monk seals. Hawaiian monk seals are an endangered species with fewer than 1,300 remaining in the wild at this time. The population is concentrated along the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, but we do see about 100 seals in the main Hawaiian Islands and around 7 seals that will haul out regularly around the island of Oahu. Because these seals are endangered, they are protected by both state and federal law, and it is therefore illegal to harm or harass the seals if you happen to see one out in the wild. Hawaiian monk seals are also endemic to the Hawaiian Islands, and that means they are found only in the Hawaiian Islands and no place else in the world. Here in the center with me is Maka Onauna. Maka's name means soft or gentle eyes in Hawaiian, and he arrived here in 1984 as a 3-week-old pup. This is pretty unusual because pups are generally nursed for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Maka was found without his mother. He had either been orphaned or abandoned, and due to his small size and young age, he most likely would have not survived out in the wild. He was brought here to the aquarium where he was bottle fed and hand raised. Maka is now about 24 years old, 7.5 feet long and 385 pounds. And he is the younger and smaller of our two seals. The life expectancy of a Hawaiian monk seal out in the wild is anywhere from 25 to 30 years. We do believe our seals might live a little bit longer here, possibly into their mid or even late 30s, as they don't have as many stresses on their life. Among those stresses include diving to deep depths, having to hunt for food, or having to escape predators or disease. The seals can dive to depths of over 1,000 feet and will hold their breath for up to 20 minutes during those long and deep dives. They'll feed on a variety of reef fish, octopus, lobster, and eel. And if you look closely, you'll see they do swallow their food whole. Each seal has about 32 molar-like teeth that they use for breaking up large prey items or crushing lobster shells, but not for chewing. The crushing power in their jaws is strong and is comparable to that of a large cat like a lion or a tiger. The seals also have well-developed whiskers, and they use these whiskers to feel under rocks and coral heads for different prey items that they might not be able to see as easily. Here at the Waikiki Aquarium, we feed the seals a mixed and varied diet. Currently, each seal receives about 10 pounds daily of herring, smelt, and squid, totaling about 6,000 calories throughout the day. We break that up over 2 to 3 feeds, and we also supplement their diet with a marine mammal vitamin. We also weigh the seals 2 times per month to make sure that they're maintaining a healthy weight. Now, what you see me doing with Maka today is a daily body exam, and we do these 2 to 3 times a day at each of our feeds, where we check over the seal's general health, looking for any cuts, scrapes, bite marks, or anything out of the ordinary. These exams also serve as good practice for the seals, keeping them used to being handled by humans and having their various body parts examined. The blue and white float that you see on the end of the pole is what we call a target. There is no smell or taste associated to this. It is simply a training tool, and the seals have been trained to touch their nose to that target. They know that in doing so, they will receive fish as a reward. We can use this targeting behavior to maneuver the animals throughout the habitat. They will follow the target anywhere. Or we can ask them to lie still for an exam, as you see going on so far today. The type of training that we use is called operant conditioning, also known as positive reinforcement. Behaviors that are done well are reinforced both vocally and with fish, and behaviors that are undesired are simply ignored. Water. Now, we believe that monk seals may have gotten their name monk seal due to their primarily solitary and non-social nature, so you can think of them as being solitary like a monk. You won't often find them in large groups, like you might see with sea lions or elephant seals. If you happen to see a monk seal out in the wild, you generally see one by itself. Two together are most likely a mother with her pup. This is one of the reasons that we feed and train our seals in separate locations and don't force them to interact with each other. If they choose to interact on their own time, that's up to them. Also, by feeding our seals in separate locations, we can ensure that each seal receives its designated diet and there's no competition over the food. This is especially important because the seals are here for research and educational purposes, and currently the primary focus of the research is on their metabolism, so the seals are on fixed diets throughout the day. And at this point, I would like to switch seals and introduce you to our other resident male.